Hey there, hopefuls, and welcome back to another episode of the Hopeful Simplicity Podcast. I'm Melissa, your host, and I'm here to help you simplify your home in real and practical ways that don't involve spending hundreds of dollars in the organizing aisle, as much fun as that may sound. Today, I'm answering one of the most common questions I hear. Do I need to buy bins? We've all seen the color-coded, perfectly labeled pantries or closets on Pinterest. And while they are beautiful, they really, really are, they're not always realistic, and they're definitely not necessary. By the end of this episode, you'll know the difference between helpful tools and clutter disguised as more storage, plus how to organize using what you've already got. Let's really break down the myth behind containers. It's why do we think we need containers? Exterior pressure is most often the factor making us even think that. Did we see it online? Do we have a Pinterest board dedicated to closet organizing or home organization containers I need to buy? Or even if we're at a store and we don't have somebody going, no, don't do that. If we're at the store and we're seeing it on a cap, or it's a great sale, or it's back to school season and they have this amazing deal happening plus a coupon. So it's that exterior pressure telling us, well, all these things are telling me I need to buy it, so obviously I need to buy it, right? No. Or maybe it's the myth that we buy it first, then declutter. If we buy it now, then I'll be organized. If I buy first, declutter later, organizing magic happens. Friend, that's a trap. So we just don't do it, right? Bins without systems is just a stack of clutter that you've purchased because some extra myth happening in your mind tells you need to buy the bins to live an organized life. But the reality is you need to establish the organized systems, understand your method, understand your style, embrace the 3S method, and then once we're confident, once we're comfortable, once we know how-tos, then we can talk about bins. But if you jump into bins first because of the exterior pressures that we can sometimes feel and we want to get organized to life, that's really just a direct path to hidden clutter that probably sits right in front of you or gets stacked up in the closet. So we need to reframe first. We don't need to buy bins first. We need to reframe. We need to declutter first. If you declutter, what are you going to put in the bin? I'm not saying you have to be a minimalist or live with a certain number of blah, blah, blahs to live that organized life, but I'm saying if you declutter first, then you know what needs organized. Then you can figure out how to contain what's left. So that's a massive reframe to even get started on building your organized life before you even think about the possibility of needing containers. So when it comes to the bin part of organizing, the sorting part, the second part of the 3S method, it's the second step for a reason, right? Because you've already worked through decluttering. You've worked through simplifying. Now we just need to contain what's left. That means you've got to find the right thing for the right place. If you are a macro organizer, you need those solutions, those bins, those systems, those et ceteras for a one-step put away. Maybe it's direct on a shelf. Maybe it's a container without a lid. It's that one step put away. Those are the right systems and bins for you. If you're a micro organizer, you want to find things in one step, which means you probably got containers inside of containers or containers with lids so they're stackable and interchangeable. You can pull them out, get exactly what you need, and put them back in any order. Now, don't forget if you're visual or non-visual. If you're a visual organizer, you want clear containers or big, obvious, possibly colorful labels on a solid container so you can visually see what exactly you have, when, where, and what it is. If you open your dresser drawer for socks, you want to visually see your socks. Maybe you have clear shoe containers because you want to see where your red pumps are. You don't want to have to dig through all the boxes. That's visual organizing. The opposite of that is if you see it all, it feels like it's too much. I'm a non-visual organizer, so I know I need to visually see everything as I'm getting ready, but the all day, all the time, I need it tucked out of sight. I need it tucked out of mind because it's overwhelming. So knowing your style will help you know which containers are right for which spaces to set things up for your success. So therefore, the bins, the containers, the storage solutions are there to help you live an organized life, not start with chaos. So maybe inside a drawer, you want to find things super fast. You have dividers. You have containers inside the drawer to separate each thing. You can roll and tuck your tie into every little spot of those containers, or your belts, or your socks, or your undergarments. Maybe you have color-coded systems with hangers. Maybe all the black hangers are my tanks, all the whites are my regular blouses or sweaters, and then all the insert whatever color you prefer, blue comes to mind, is extra, right? Maybe it's the dresses or the suits for work versus everyday wear things. You can use containers. Most of the things you can repurpose of what you have till the system is successfully set up. But you can use containers as assistants in your spaces. Dividers, certain types of hangers, clear bins for visual organizers, solid bins for non-visual. I know for me, I'm a non-visual organizer for my closet stuff. And most of the things are I need to find them in one step, except for the pajamas. I don't care. Most of the time, 99% of the time, cool, it's on top, grab it, it's cleanish. I just have to sleep in it, right? My son, he is a full-on no-fold system. If it requires a hanger, then it's probably something mom has snuck out, like his suit for band practice or band concerts. Or, his fancy wear. I normally grab those and wash them separate so we don't have blue shirts anymore. And then I hang them up fresh out the washer. But he is everything goes in the washer, everything goes in the dryer, everything comes out and gets tossed normally on a pile on the floor in his closet. Sometimes they get tossed into the shirts. The top halves go there, the bottom halves go there, the under parts go here. And it's no fold. It's hard, fast. He does not care. And that's fine, right? Those are set up for his systems. There are no lid bins for his toss and go needs when it comes to organizing. Now, I said that we could do use what you have until the systems are set up. And you'll probably hear me say this a bazillion times. But if you are thinking, Melissa, I think I'm this kind of organizer, but I'm not really sure. What do I do? You try it, right? If you think you're a micro organizer, so you want to find things in one step, but you're not really sure because folding laundry and putting things away in a super sorted sort of way kind of sounds ick. Cool. Grab the Amazon box or the last box of diapers that just got emptied, cut the flaps off, cover it in contact paper if you don't want to see various colors and patterns of boxes. Color in contact paper, slap a label on it, toss all your tops in there, toss all your bras in there, toss all your socks in there. And then a week or two goes by and you're like, nope, this is pissing me off. I've had to dig for my favorite pair of socks twice. I'm not having that anymore. There you go. Up level it. But using what you have means you take containers you previously bought and you make it work. Maybe you did get a bunch of shoe boxes because they come in a stack of 10 at the Walmart and are on sale during back to school season. Awesome. Great. You got them on sale. Oh, but you don't do well with containers with lids. Whew. You don't have to use the lids. Have the power to use what you have to make it work for you. I don't care. No, if someone comes over to your house and be like, oh, you didn't use your shoe containers correctly. Okay, cool. Then you can reorganize it. And then you can come over every morning and make sure that things are set up so I'm not pissed off and stressed out first thing in the door. Because that's not how my mornings are starting. My mornings are starting for my success. So somebody comes over and tells you you're not using a bin that you bought correctly. You can tell them whatever you need to tell them and then go from there. But don't be afraid to use what you have as a temporary trial situation. And then in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 months, if it's not bothering you, up level. If at the point that you know that this system is freaking gonna work, let's go back to my son's closet. Let's go to the process of he now has 8 matching bins. They're all labeled. None of them have lids, so he can toss and go his no-fold clothes, right? Working that backwards, maybe I just randomly kept boxes as deliveries happened cut the flaps off so they don't have a lid options, covered them in contact paper, got a Sharpie, wrote shirts, slapped it on there, and oh, okay, a couple months go by. This is working, but mom likes pretty containers. So then we go out, then we buy the containers to up-level a system that we know works. But that means Ben's comes last, right? Ben's come matching and organized and on sale hopefully last, because now you know the temporary systems work. Now you know the reset sorting options. Those solutions are succeeding for who's ever in that space. Even if you cut the flaps off the cardboard box, use them as drawer dividers to see, you know what, I want my drawer divided. I just don't know how. I don't want to spend $20 on a expandable bamboo divider. What do? Use the flap from that cardboard box. Use that as a temporary divider. And then in that time frame, once you know it works, you know what, this does keep my stockings, underoos, and all undergarments sorted how I want it in my drawer. Now I'm okay investing in those bamboo dividers. It's using what you have to make sure that your investment is a actual helpful tool to help you stay that way, right? It's a needed investment, or it's a wanted investment, or it's an investment that is actually worth making. Like, you actually want to make this investment because now you know that it's not going to be extra clutter. Now you know that, hey, it's just a support tool that will work. So I'm going to take a quick break because I want to know if you've ever filled a cart with bins only to never use them. If you have, you're not alone. I've done it more often than I should probably admit. If you want to skip that cart full of mistakes, grab the Core 4 Declutter Challenge. I'll put it in the show notes. It's the clear, bin-free, purchase-free starting point. It walks you through the core 4 rooms of the kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, and living room so you can start decluttering first. Okay, so you've worked through not buying bins. You've stepped into the process of decluttering. Awesome. And now you've got temporary, maybe transition into permanent sorted solutions. You've ticked off the first part of the 3S method. You've simplified. So long declutter. We are not organizing clutter. We are organizing what remained. Hello, part 2. We've sorted. We have systems set up for our success, for our organized lifestyle choices. Now what? It's not a one and done thing. We've said it a billion times, and I will continue to say organizing is a lifestyle choice. It is not a one and done process. So if you've gone through the declutter phase, you've gone through the sort and organizing phase, and maybe you've already even made the investment into containers that you really like. Bonus if they were on sale and you got to save money along the way. That's always a great option. But now what do? We have to sustain that organized life. We have to maintain the systems with habits and routines that fit our regular lives. This is not a marathon for how many habits can I do in my bedroom every day, right? How many chores can I complete in every space all the time? No, I do my load of laundry once a week, or I take my stuff to the dry cleaner this day every week. Or I have slowly decluttered things that require dry cleaning and made a better investment on clothes that I love. That's the sustainable part. That's getting real with yourself and your things and your space in a real, maintainable, organized, hopeful lifestyle. You've got less stuff. You've only got bins that serve you instead of add more clutter. You've possibly invested slowly with intention. So now what? Now every day when you get dressed, you pull the hanger out with your top instead of rip your top off the hanger. That way you know I've invested in these products, in myself, into these systems because I know they work. I want to keep it that way. I need to invest 5-minute time to make sure that this top is deserving of a hanger. I invest the weekly habit of doing laundry. the daily habit of making the bed, the weekly habit of changing the sheets, the monthly habit of deep cleaning the floors, the quarterly habit of washing the curtains, the quarterly or yearly habit of making sure that the curtain rod is handy, or finally putting the screw on the drawer handle that came loose. Those things, those are the investments into now your real life organized processes to keep it that way. You work super hard on decluttering. Goodness knows we all know that that is not an easy task in itself. Then you slow down enough to set up systems, temporary to investment, systems that are true solutions for you to live organized, to sustain an organized life, to embrace what works for you in these spaces. And now you have to just do the lighter lift of keeping things that way. So in 6 months, great. Maybe you do that. Oh, those hangers that I flipped around are still around. So those things on them are now going to be decluttered. Maybe every season, before you pack up the summer stuff and pull out the winter sweaters, the things that, you know what, I don't even think I wore this summer. This is not going to go in the bag. It's going to go in the donation bin. Those are the sustainable steps that once you've got systems organized, once you've invested the time, the frustrations, the difficult decisions of decluttering, let's not go backwards. Now we just have to keep it that way. It's the progress and consistency of living an organized lifestyle instead of the misconceptions of Pinterest perfect being a real life. It's gorgeous. I love Pinterest. I get on there to have ideas. But then you have to adapt the ideas to fit your real life. Sometimes that looks like decluttering. Sometimes that looks like having somebody drag you out of the container aisle at the store. Maybe that looks like an Amazon box for a couple weeks holding your pajamas. Because it's a temporary, let me make sure this actually works. Because I love myself and my spaces enough to not be more angry at container clutter. Those are some major things that if you are embracing the hard parts of organizing, the deep conversations of organizing, the things like this conversation, breaking the myths about bins, the do I even need to buy bins? You might sometime, but not first. Not first. Not until you know what it is. What kind of bin do you need? What sort of support tool could actually help you live less stressed, help you maintain an organized life, and help you achieve the goals of your bedroom space without the extra clutter of unneeded beds. Pause with me real quick and take a look around. What is one container you already have, you already own, that could help you corral a little bit of your closet dresser clutter today? No trip to the store required. Just use what you have. Bins can be a helpful tool. They really can. But they're not the solution themselves. The real answer is decluttering first, then choosing systems sorted for your success. Next episode, we're going to dive more into the bedroom for a dresser reset. No bins required unless you want dividers or super containers. But we're going to talk about how to tackle drawers full of clothes and making the daily dressing easier. If you want help finding simple solutions, check out the Hopeful Simplicity Library for step-by-step audio guidance, more organizing resources, and packed full of information to help you get and stay organized. Thank you so much for joining me again today. And as always, friend, stay hopeful.